Believe in heroes.
Wind aid my hand.
Oh, snap.
Enough said, bub.
A photo after this?
We can lose the battle, but we don't win the war. Go with doom at your own peril. When things get tough, that's when we show up. That's when we show up. Oh, snap. Say it. Say it with me.
Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man here.
Union to me. Believe that we will win.
Excused by Rishi.
Take a swing at us, you better hit hard. Cause when we swing back, it's like, oh God. Believe that we will say it.
What a game!
Avengers! Believe that we will say it. Wakanda forever! Next time, I'll try to break a sweat. Oh, snap!
I'm here talking with some people from the Marvel Snap. It's a new app game from Marvel, and I'm with...
Hi, I'm Julia Humphreys. I'm Senior Production Director with Second Dinner.
Rishi Mohan, I lead marketing for Marvel Snap.
All right, so tell me about the app and, what it's... What the concept behind it, I guess. I'm sorry.
Absolutely, yeah, no worries. So Marvel Snap is a super fast, collectible card battler. It's very approachable, but it has a lot of strategic depth. It brings all of the Marvel Multiverse right to the palm of your hand. It is launching October 18th. It'll be available on iPhone and Android, and it's also coming in early access to PC. So if you want to play it on Steam, you'll be able to check it out there as well. So the goal of Marvel Snap, within each game, which lasts about an average of 3 minutes, so it's super fast, you got 5 minutes, you can play a game. The goal is you want to play the cards in your hand, each of which has a cost and also has a certain amount of power that it brings to the board. You want to play those on the board at one of 3 locations. And your goal is to win 2 out of the 3 locations to win that game. So there's a lot of strategy when you're thinking about where do I want to play my card. You're looking at what are the abilities at the location itself versus what are the abilities of the cards you have in your hand. Plus then you're assessing what your opponent is doing and what they seem to be going for or what they're trying to lock down versus what you're trying to lock down. There's a lot of mind games, there's a lot of strategy, there's a lot of depth. It's super fun.
Do you have anything to like to add anything?
There's a magic moment when you feel like you've got it, you can snap. And what that does is it ups the stakes of the entire thing. Yeah. It's can be used. I use this as a way to kind of be a little disrespectful, like I'm about to win, so what card are you going to play? Or you can use it purely strategically. What it does is ups the ante for the entire game.
Yeah, so you're playing for cosmic cubes. They have this little cosmic cube at the top of the gameplay board. Those cubes, as you collect them, it's going to increase your rank within the game. So you're sort of climbing the ladder each season. And so if you snap, then you're doubling the stakes for the number of cubes that you're playing. And as Rishi says, you can snap your opponent, right? And then sometimes they'll snap you right back, right? And so then it doubles again. And now you're playing for maybe 8 cubes at the end of the game. So yeah, it's super fun.
I gotta give credit to a dev team because when you snap, it actually feels good. The entire screen makes it feel like you did something. So that's one of the things that we love about it. Yeah.
And so, because it isn't out yet, but you're here at New York Comic Con, what are you? You're of course promoting the upcoming game, but what are you offering for people who stop by your booth?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Sure, for sure. Pre-registration's open right now, so we want people to start checking out the game, start getting ready for it. But really, the booth is a love letter to Marvel fans and to the card game genre. The thing is, we love card games, and it kind of feels like we get forgotten sometimes. So we wanted to show look, not only do we care, but we care a lot. So our booth itself is a collector's cube experience. So when you step inside, you see a bunch of cards, a bunch of different variants, and just you get a moment to experience what it'd be like if you were inside of the game Marvel Snap, right? So if you have never been a card game fan before, you get to see why you should be. And if you are a card game fan, you feel like, wow, this feels real, and there's a lot of us here, and we're not just some subgenre. We're here, and we're going to be coming. and that's what it is.
Now you're offering, do I understand correctly? You're offering chances for like special edition.
It's like an experience here for sure. It's like a physical experience inside the booth, and then through pre-registration.
Yeah, we want to maintain balance, get everyone sort of a similar exciting experience on day one. What we are offering is people can come play the game here live right now. We do have the game live, pretty strong Wi-Fi over there as well. But you get to play live on site, give us feedback, things like that. So really we wanted to get the game in players' hands as soon as possible, and that's what we're doing at the booth today.
Now, do you guys have a favorite Marvel character that maybe he's in the game or maybe you'd like to see in the game?
It's very hard to choose, like picking your children, right? So when the game
I only have one, so it's really not that hard.
So that's true. Yeah. When the game launches, there are over 150 characters available in the game to play. So it's very hard to pick one. I do love Captain Marvel. So Captain Marvel's ability is when you play her on the board, on the last turn, she will move herself to the location that will give you the best chance of winning possible for her to move there. Which I love because it's fun, it's fun, it's a fun strategy, but also just like the fantasy of like who Captain Marvel is and the way she comes in and can save the day, like that feels really good to me. One of the things we wanted to do in Marvel Snap was make sure that we're getting the whole spectrum of the Marvel Multiverse. So, obviously there's a lot that we pulled from the MCU because a lot of people have come into Marvel through the MCU and they have a lot of attachment to that. But then we're also pulling from comic books, and pulling from all across Marvel properties. So there's also, it's been fun for me getting on the team as someone who also has a lot of experience with the MCU. And then, I had an attachment to the X-Men comics. I had attachment to the Fantastic Four comics. But there's whole areas within the Marvel Universe I just wasn't very familiar with. So, I didn't really know about Moon Girl, and so I saw her card and I was like, who is this? This is so cool, right?
And she has a dinosaur.
It's a dinosaur, yeah. So now I'm like really into Moon Girl. So I think there's going to be something for everyone there.
The first action figure I ever got as a kid was Apocalypse before I understood anything. So I always have a loving memory of Apocalypse, but in game, I love Hulk because Hulk smash gets it done.
Yeah.
So is there anything else that maybe, we didn't touch on that you guys wanted to, let?
Yeah, I think, one thing that I mentioned we haven't really talked about is sort of the approachability of the game. I think sometimes traditionally card games can be overwhelming for players, especially if they are not into the genre already. I'm someone who I think falls into that camp, and I think what we've tried to do with Marvel Snap is make it as approachable as possible right from the beginning. So deck building, for example, is a lot more streamlined. Right? You have 12 cards in your deck in Marvel Snap instead of like 30 or 60 cards that you might have in another collectible card game. In those other games, oftentimes you have multiples of cards, right? So the strategic depth isn't that different from Marvel Snap with having 12 cards. But it's more, for me, it's like, I can keep this in my head. I can build a 12-card deck. I can think about how all these things are going to play together. And then the other thing that I think is unique to Marvel Snap is that unlike other card games where you're getting huge packs of cards at one time, you're earning these cards one at a time as you play through the game. So as you progress through the game, we have a system where you can visually upgrade your cards. It doesn't change their power or abilities, but you go from having a flat card to having like a 3D card, to having an animated card. And as you're doing these visual upgrades, you're advancing your collection level in the game.
Is it a chromium foil card?
Actually, there is. Yeah, when you get up,
sold.
Yeah, if you get up to a certain level, you can do something called an infinity split. And at that point, your card splits and you get a different effect on it. And foil is one of the ones that you can get. So as you're increasing your collection level, that's how you're unlocking additional new base cards in the game. Yeah.
And all ages?
Oh, yeah, I think so, yeah.
And it'll be available on the
October 18th worldwide, on mobile platforms, early access on PC. So we're going to have all of it ready. The PC experience feels really nice as well. It's going to be available worldwide on October 18th. You can pre-register right now. Wanted to say one more thing about the depth and breadth of the cards is we're fans of comic lore, we're fans of Marvel, we're fans of card games. Kind of Magic put all those things together and give us 3 minutes, and we'll give you an exciting experience, ideally. And frankly, we're not just doing this for this year, right? We want this to be a long-lasting game that people can enjoy for time and time again, basically.
And do you guys have a social media, accounts? And
Yeah, we do. Across social, it's at Marvel Snap or at Play Marvel Snap. Across the board, we're activated on all socials. We're going to be doing some cool stuff on TikTok. We're going to be doing some cool stuff on all of the streaming platforms. The reality is, card games are fun, and we want to make sure that everyone gets a chance to experience it without getting scared of it being too difficult. But once you're in, there's a lot of chance to learn new things and master it. So we hope people give it a try.
well, I want to thank you for taking the time to talk. And as we're sitting here talking, I'm just looking at the awesome artwork there behind me. So I'm definitely, going to check it out, and we'll maybe later on we can, come back and once it's been out for a while, and we can talk about how it's been going, or how how you guys feel that where you guys want to improve, or how it.
We'll be continuing to support the game for sure after release. So we have seasonal content planned. So every month there's a new season.
Venom and a Santa Claus hat.
The awesome thing is that
Hold on.
we can do stuff like that, right? Like I think that's what makes this so much fun, is because it lives in the multiverse, and because Marvel has been such an awesome partner. We get to do really fun, awesome stuff like that. Like one of my favorite variants in the game is actually like multiple.
Continue. Definitely check out the game.
Carl, thank you for